All right. Hi. Uh, so this is my science final project. My question was, is it possible to create a Frankenstein's monster? Okay, let's get into it. All right. So the monster. First, the monster is not Frankenstein, as many people call him Frankenstein. He's actually not. The scientist that created him was Frankenstein. So, yeah. His brain was salvaged from a corpse, and as well as his body parts. So they're all kind of mismatched. So, um, reanimation with the use of lightning. That he used electricity to jumpstart the nervous system and everything. And Frankenstein is tall, like extremely tall, 8 feet tall. Um, and as is described in books and movies, his head shape is obviously very strange. He has a very large head and a flattened skull, as you can see from the picture. All right. So, first, we need to get some information about corpses and uh, how they decompose. So, the decomposition of tissue and organs. All right. So, obviously, after death, the body starts to decompose. 24 to 72 hours after death, your internal organs start to decompose. And 3 to 5 days after death, your body starts to bloat. In those 3 to 5 days, a bloody foam type substance will come out of the nose and mouth. 8 to 10 days after death, a color change will happen to your body, so your body will change color. It changes from green to red, and the blood starts to decompose, and any of the organs left in the abdomen start to release gases. Um, a couple of weeks after death, your nails and teeth start to fall out, and a month after death, the body and everything else starts to liquefy. Then, you're like it starts to release a gas, and that gas, once being built up, can cause an explosion. So if your coffin were to be sitting in a mausoleum, it could cause an explosion from the gases building up in the coffin. All right. So autolysis. After death, the brain is the first thing to start going. After 2 minutes of no oxygen, you die. And 4 minutes after you die, your brain cells start to decompose. And this process is called autolysis. Basically, autolysis is where carbon dioxide ruptures the cells. Cold temperature slows down this process. Something amazing about the cold temperature, there have been cases of people being brought back to life after being submerged in cold water for around an hour, maybe a little more. This is because the cold water slows down autolysis. Then a year after, yeah. So for your body, you've the different limbs, obviously, it would be different for how long before you can reattach them all. So limbs that get removed in some way can obviously be reattached, depending on the limb, after up to 6 hours of detachment. Your bones, tendons, and skin can survive up to 8 to 12 hours, and if you can be revived within 3 minutes after clinical death, when the heart stops beating, it shouldn't cause any brain damage. So, yeah. Any amount of time after those 3 minutes can result in brain damage or brain death. And yeah. So, jumpstarting a body with lightning, obviously, people have survived being struck by lightning. And yeah, but so paddles to get the heart going are obviously in a controlled environment. They know exactly how many watts of electricity are going into you, and this has been done before. So, but a lightning strike would not create brain activity because, as stated in the book, um, Frankenstein does not have blood. Instead, he has a chemical. Well, Frankenstein's monster does not have any blood. As stated in the book, Frankenstein puts a chemical into his monster to kind of act as blood. So that would not get the brain going because brain activity obviously wouldn't be able to work without blood. So, and your brain is needed for things like movement, judgment, emotions. So, all the times when you see Frankenstein's monster all angry and everything, that would not be plausible. So, yeah. Putting it all together, is it possible? Given today's science, no. There is an Italian doctor who proposed a head transplant. Sergio Canavero believes that we are not far off from being able to perform a head transplant, though not a lot of people agree with him. So then, obviously, all the barriers like limbs, tendons, skin, all of that, because it takes Frankenstein up to 2 years to create his monster. And so obviously we know with limbs and bones, tendons, and how long they can survive after being detached, it wouldn't be plausible to be able to create a Frankenstein monster. So then we've got bibliography. Yeah, that is my science presentation.